Good afternoon, honorable guests and distinguished guests. My name is Lee Jung-min. I am a manager of the AI Big Data Security team of the KISA, also member of the KISA and Coordination Center. Today, it is my pleasure, it is my honor to have a chance to introduce our report and sorry about that. Report and to sharing our some best practice to with our camp participants. As our member, I usually said is sharing information is very important in the some follow countries because it is we have a limited budget and manpowers, so it is a very good chance to share our experience and wisdom to others. And as you know, these days is AI is very popular to our in cybersecurity areas, but in around 10 years ago, AI is not much interesting in our cybersecurity areas because we know everyone knows is they cannot detect distinguish this about the cat and dog problems. But in 2016, and AlphaGo has changed many things. DeepMind and AlphaGo has changed our aspect of the seeing the AI because at this time I believe is AI is good, but still they cannot beat the human in the some goal areas. But as you know, AI is win in these areas, and it also will give us some issues about okay, it is changed, and how about we using the AI in cybersecurity area? Because in South Korea we have some problems in 2013 and 14 areas. Usually is APT, advanced personal attack, is we have issued, and we trying to attach many devices to our system because before that, we just believe, okay, firewall is enough to protect our systems. But in fact, it is we know that we are wrong. And we need more systems to attach to protect our environment. For example, IDS, IPS, WAP, system log, WAM log. And that means is we need more burden about operating our systems. And especially in the operators area and analyzer areas, because we can buy some systems, but as you know, is educating some operators and expertise is not easy. We need more time, and it is not easy to double or third make educated person. So we focusing how about using AI for our system. For example, maybe they replace our expertise, or they reduce the job of our analyzers. So we trying to find some solutions and start to build some long-term project using AI in cybersecurity areas. In cybersecurity areas, if you want to using AI, you need three things. First one is hardware. You need some GPU and CPU and RAM and computers. They need it. And second one is software areas. You need a modeler or some labelers or any other scientists or some developers. And third one is data. If you make some models and you should run some data to the AI models, so you need some good data because in here, very famous pictures, garbage in, garbage out. That means data is very important in the learning, deep learning areas, but it is not easy in cybersecurity area. Maybe same things is occurred in many times. For example, sharing the information about the IOC or some other things is not easy because in this meeting rooms, we talked about very freely about, okay, we need increasing our systems, we shared our informations, but sometimes we change the same things, but it changed, for example, in the national security. That means we can say, okay, we don't know about that things. We don't want to talk to that, and we don't want to share that. That is occurred, similar things occurred in data area, because the companies don't want to share their information. They think, okay, it's a shame to us, hacked by hackers, and don't want to leak our data to others. And oh, how can we believe your company? That means it occurs. So we trying to persuade their companies and organization. Well, we don't want to blame you. We don't want to reporting that. We just want to do some example and the data, and we deleted some personal information and private data. So we used very freely, but it is not easy because as mentioned, it is some trust problem. And yeah, this man is very famous in AI area, Stanford professor Steve Ng. And recently, he says is a data-centric AI competition. That means there is two major stream of the AI. The first one is, for example, is a model-centric and the data-centric. It means it's very easy. Some people say, okay, model is very important more than data. Some others said data is important than model. And he said, okay, I'm trying to prove my words because the same conditions, they make some experiment, and they said is data-centric is more effectiveness than the model-centric. So I'm not sure at this time because we have not much time to prove that things. But anyway, it means data is very important. Is not changed, and it is not easy together. Is also the same things. So in 2021, we in KISA persuading as many companies and organizations, and we also have our own data because we have, as I said, we are also member KISA. We have some data about the gathering to our organization, so we make some data set first. In two areas. First one is malware areas, because as you know, malware is everyone want to know, and is very useful to prove others. And this is the number of data is 300 million and 100 million and 20,000. Sorry about that. 120,000 data. It means it's a very huge size of data. If you have interesting about AI in cybersecurity, data set is usually some researchers use about DoD data around 20 years ago, and there were some people using some Canadian data. This is 2017 and 18 data, but this data size is not very huge. But we tried as many data as we can gather and make our data set is a huge size. And another area of data is the incident areas, because it is our first attempt to make a data set. So we believe it is the easiest things. First, malware, and another thing is incident, because every cybersecurity company organization want to know that. So we make some same size of data, and we made 800 million data, and it's the size of the 3 petabyte. Is a big, very huge size of that. And then we need some problem. For example, in the picture, I said garbage data in, garbage data out. That means we prove our data is not the garbage. So we have find the solutions, and then most easiest thing is why don't you using that? Demonstrate, cooperate with the company, organization, and we build a test, and we provide some books. Sadly, it is, as you know, is only Korean, so you cannot reading that. But thank you for the Google. We have some presentation in this paper, and they make some good subscription for English, so you can use that, and you can see my face in this YouTube. But in this paper, I summarized that we have some shared best practice. We cooperate in the private public cybersecurity organization, and some of them is spam filtering using some our malware data. Is telecommunication. Telco. Yeah. Malware detection with the game publisher, and the intruder detection is a monitoring organization, and many other companies. And we cooperated with them and prove our data is not garage, and it is effect to their system. For example, first one is, have you heard of Nexon? No? It's one of the biggest game company in here, South Korea, and they have a problem in some game hacks, malwares, because they have around 80 games using management all around the world, and they have a problem about 7 billion files per day. They analyzing that. It's a very huge size. So first they make some hiring expertise. Okay, you analyzing this file, you analyze this file, and they finally give up because too many things. So we cooperating with Nexon, and we made some AI model, and first free analyzing about their suspicious files. And it means is dramatically decreases about the suspicious file, because all of them is similar patterns, because they trying to hack some systems and gathering some key logging, many other similar aspects. So we can reduce reduce their job. So they can before the day using AI, they had just 50% of the files is analyzing, and 50% of the data is just throw away. But after they using AI, they analyzing every parts. And members is first they use 30 members, 30 experts analyzing their suspicious file. But after that, just 2 or 3 person have finished their job, so they can use another manpower to increase other areas. Second best practice is Korea Local Information Research and Development Institute. Yeah, this is CLID. It is they monitoring some government website and the government systems. About 17 government main government is organization is their monitoring, and is using AI models to prevent some incident and include infection about the malwares. And we learning about their AI system using KISA's AI dataset, and result is you can see that they increase the accuracy and reduce the response time and increase the detection. That means they said is very happy to cooperating with KISA, and they also want to continuously running their system using our AI data set. And third one is Korea Telecom. They are telecommunication companies, And as you know, in corona areas, there is many issues about emails. They trying to phishing mails and spear phishings, and there send some suspicious spies. So they wanted to also reduce their filtering some malicious code, and they also using a AI model for that kind of thing. First, original models you can see some data in here, and also we have a new model. It's relearning using our data set, and compare with each other, that increased their TPR numbers, true positive rate, and also you can see there is the true negative. It means is this AI model does increase their ability to detection of malicious activities. Okay, maybe I have not much time for that. So in conclusion, in this year, we have built another data set because, as I mentioned, we prove our data set is very useful for increasing their ability about the protect. So we cooperating with some other expertise, include about in academic areas and some cooperator or some organizations. And they want to, oh, why don't you make some this kind of data? So we made another data set, 600 million data about some vulnerability in applications, and also active monitoring and threat profiling. And there is some future concern about in camp, because as I mentioned, is our cybersecurity AI data set is good in South Korea, but how about your country? If I would give it to your country, I'm not sure about that things, because something is very globally using some hacker groups, but it's usually have some local or domestic problems about that. And sharing information is not easy, because at this time we also said, okay, some organizations said there's malware, some said is some instant files or some suspicious file, and they cannot talk to each other. So we also started to study about make some standard. For example, there is some ITUs. In ITUs, they have some global standard for the AI data set. That means we changing our data to countries or to organizations. So maybe at this time, I'm not sure about some schedule for that, because we just start research. But anyway, maybe I believe is one day we can share our information with camp members, and it is maybe help your country to protect your system. Thank you for the listening, and enjoy the staying. Thank you very much.